say some days you're gonna win. You say some days you're gonna lose. I tell you, I got news for you. You're losing all the time, you never win. No. If you believe that's how it's gonna be, I better put you down. Get up, you take your up, you come down on the ground. You gotta save me now. You better turn around. And I looked around. I was heading down on somebody throw me down the line. This is some days you gotta give. This is some days you gotta take. That's the way it's gotta be. Roll it over and you will see. City streets are full of people going on.
Happy Wednesday, my friends. The third day of December falls on it. Daily show. We got a good show for all of you guys today. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we're going to be talking all things A.B.O.B, the Alton Band and Orchestra Builders, Craft Fair. It's coming down the pipeline, the annual event at Alton High School this week, and we'll get all the details, and I'm pretty sure Miss Plummer and a few students will be in the studio for that. At 10:10, Lacy McDonald joins us and takes us back into the time machine 100 years ago. As we step back in time to explore some of the stories and the articles that Lacy writes, it's a great segment, and glad that she joins us for that. At 10:35, we're going to be talking to Dr. Denise Long. She's the Republican candidate for U.S. Senate in Illinois. Dr. Long will share her background, her platform, and the ideas she brings to the primary races. She looks to potentially flip the Illinois seat red if she does come out of that primary on top. We'll get all the details about that at 10:35, a busy show. Hope you guys enjoy it for the full 2 hours. In the meantime, let's dive into top of the hour news now. Here's what you need to know on this third day of December. Make sure you download the RiverBender.com app today or sign up for that daily email update. One of the top news stories of the morning, early on November the 19th, deputies from the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office, assisted by Pike County officers, responded to a disturbance reported on Porcupine Lane in Hardin. Upon investigation, 40-year-old Heloy Foster of Alton was arrested on charges of intimidation, assault, and disorderly conduct. Foster was taken into Greene County Jail following the arrest. The Calhoun County Sheriff's Office extended thanks to the Pike County Sheriff's Department for their cooperation during the incident. We'll keep you updated if more details do emerge. A fire erupted Tuesday morning at Lewis and Clark Community College's Weber Workforce Center in Godfrey, and it prompted the immediate cancellation of all welding classes. The blaze involved two tanks venting gas and multiple oxygen tanks, causing emergency crews from Godfrey, Alton, and Fosterburg to respond quickly to that scene. The fire extinguished within 21 minutes with no reported injuries, and all students and staff were safely evacuated. Authorities did block off the north side of campus for safety, while early damage assessments indicate minimal damage. Officials continue to monitor that area and will keep you updated when more details do emerge as the situation develops. Also in the news today, Nicole Rhodes is seeking community support following the recent tragic loss of her father, John, who died in a house fire. John was a loving father and devoted grandfather, known for his playful spirit and warmth at brightened family gatherings. The family now facing emotional pain as his sudden passing, along with the financial challenges of the funeral and the final expenses occur. They have launched a GoFundMe campaign to help cover these costs and provide John with a dignified farewell. Nicole expresses deep gratitude for any contributions. You can see a full write-up and that GoFundMe link at RiverBender.com/news. Also in the news, Overnight warming locations in Alton, Edwardsville, and Granite City have reopened to provide shelter, hot meals, showers, and community for individuals facing extreme cold and insufficient heat. Activated when temperatures hit 20 degrees or lower, the Owls welcome both unhoused individuals and anyone struggling again with heat insufficiency. Volunteers like Isaac Sandage emphasize that the centers offer more than just a place to sleep. They build community and provide vital resources. As of December 3rd, the Owls are seeking donations, volunteers, and community support to maintain their operations throughout the winter season, especially during these next couple of cold days. Various fundraising events are scheduled, and you can find out more details on their social media page, the overnight warming locations. Also in the news today, the Illinois Department of Transportation engineer Joe Monroe praised his teams for their dedication during their challenging winter weather on Tuesday. The region experienced 4 to 6 inches of snow combined with sleet over the weekend, making treatment difficult throughout the day on Tuesday. Heavy traffic between 1 to 3:30 p.m. due to early school dismissals and commuters further complicated their plowing efforts. Monroe highlighted the complexity added by sleet and the quick melting chemicals that are used on roads. Looking ahead, additional snowfall is forecasted for the weekend, prompting IDOT to take extra precautions to ensure safer road conditions in the coming days. A full write-up again at the RiverBender.com news section. Also in the news today, Gina F. Wilson, 35 of Hamburg, was ordered to submit a drug analysis sample on August the 6th and September the 8th, and the Calhoun County Probation Office collected these samples, which were later found to have been falsified. As a result, the Calhoun County State's Attorney's Office issued a 2-count felony warrant charging Wilson with defrauding drug and alcohol screening tests. Wilson was arrested on November the 4th and subsequently booked at the sheriff's office. She was released with a notice to appear, and that's the latest of our blotter section at RiverBender.com. Dalton Brown does a great job of staying up to date on those. Finally, in the news today, Freer Auto Body is did host its annual Cookies and Cocoa for Community Christmas from 4 to 6 p.m. on Tuesday. It was a great event that had local families gather as they collected cash donations, toys, coats, blankets, and personal care items for Community Christmas. Organizers emphasized that the importance of including the older children, the teenagers, in donations, as many families still require assistance on that front. The event featured delicious cookies, cocoa, and even that visit from Santa Claus. For more information on the campaign's goals and next year's events, you can contact Margaret Freer at 618-466-6151. And thank you to all that helped contribute to the Community Christmas Toy Drive and to the individual that helped us here at the Riverbender building with just such a great donation in the lobby. We really appreciate it, and I say thank you to you. Let's take a look at weather at 9:09. Here's what you need to know. It's going to be a cold day. Well, for a little bit anyway. Temperatures will warm up. It's 27 degrees. It feels like 29. Now, air quality is at 65, which is moderate. That's the worst it's been in the last couple of days. Temperatures will reach 37 degrees, but here's the bad part about it. It's going to drop quick again later this evening. Temperatures drop to 12 degrees overnight as we head into Thursday. On Thursday, a high of 23, a low of 10, and on Friday, a high of 35, a low of 24 degrees. On Saturday, a high of 38, a low of 25, and on Sunday, a high of 33, a low of 20. That's a look at your next 5 days. On Friday, I know that they were initially calling for snow. Humidity's still going to be up, but they took that out of the forecast, and I know that the National Weather Service did say that we could get a dusting of snow today, so be careful of that. A few flurries this evening. Otherwise, it will be cloudy and frigid as we head into tomorrow. That's a look at your weather forecast for time and temperature throughout the day. 618-465-4545. This time powered by Tom Lane. He's your local State Farm agent. We got a good show coming down the pipeline today. Like I said, A.B.O.B is going to join us. And, I think it's such a cool event. And to have vendors from really all over the country coming in and being a part of it from multiple states. And it's a really big thing. And a great time really to stop in and get some Christmas shopping done. Or in the next couple of weeks, make sure you shop downtown Alton. Alton Main Street has a really good section too for all the individuals that maybe can't get out and maybe just can't get out because of the hours of operation for some of the businesses or just because, mobility issues. There's an online retail section of downtownalton.com. So what you can do is you can see which of the retailers sell online and you can go to their respective websites. You're still supporting local, and that's a really cool thing. Another company that always, an industry really, that supports locals, First Mid-America Credit Union. You know, they're always out there doing things for the community, whether it's things for the River Dragons or things, you know, at different vending events where they're providing information, or just various sponsorship roles. You know, First Mid-America is always trying its best to be in the forefront of it all. And it's not even about just community presence for them. It's also about making an impact on your bank account and really giving you more for your money. You know, 3 cheers for big savings this year. That's what First Mid saying this year as we're heading into 2026. You know, whether or not you're needing it now or you know somebody that is, car loan refinance sale, that's ongoing. You got rates as low as 4.99 APR, 90 days of no payments. It's a limited time only offer, plus $250 cash bonus. This is something you got to be a part of. You can click on the RiverBender.com wallpaper, or you can just go to firstmidamerica.org. That's firstmidamerica.org/loans, and you can get all the details on a car refi loan. That's a good opportunity, again, from First Mid, and also make sure you check out their rewards checking. firstmidamerica.org. That's firstmidamerica.org, and don't forget to tell them that you know who sent you over their way. We'll take a quick break. Our first Wednesday of December continues after this.
Let's be jolly, deck balls with balls of party, rocking around the Christmas tree. Have a happy holiday. Everyone dancing merrily in the new old-fashioned way.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Welcome back. 9:14, little bit of change on this Wednesday morning. Got some more stuff to talk about before we talk to the Alton Community School District. You know, I love A.B.O.B. I really, every year I've done the show, year 3, we've had them on, and it's really cool just to see all the commitment there and how much work it takes to really get something like that on. You know, before we have the kids join us in the studio, I want to fill you in. We were at Community Christmas, and this is, we had a good old time. And I think Estella did too. She got to see Santa Claus the other day yesterday, and she had a good old time. And look at this. She even got to eat one of Margaret's cookies, and she just had a great time at Community Christmas. And it's just such a great event, and that's really what it's about. And what I think is so cool is that all that, donations, all that money stays right back here into the community. And that's really a good point to make as we head into the new year. We're getting ready to have that conversation at 9:20, but Dalton Brown did a really good job really detailing and laying this one out. This is a new year coming up, and the new year does bring new Illinois laws in 2026. And here's what we know. There's AI amendments to human rights acts that target employment discrimination. Now, this makes this a civil rights violation for employers to use AI to discriminate against employees or potential new hires based on race, gender, age, and the ability when it comes to recruitment, hiring, promotion, renewal of employment, selection for training or apprenticeship, discharge, discipline, tenure, or the terms. Now, conditions of employment are included in that, and so are privileges. Now, under the new law, employers who fail to notify their employees about the use of AI for these purposes also commit a civil rights violation, and employees who believe their civil rights have been violated can actually file a charge with the Illinois Department of Human Rights. Also, a new law coming in that Dalton's filling us in on is Senate Bill 0212, also known as the Nursing Mothers in the Workplace Act, already requires employers to provide reasonable break time each time an employed nursing mother needs to express breast milk for her infant child for 1 year after the child's birth. But until now, the law didn't require those breaks to be paid. Now, starting January 1st, employers must compensate them. And they cannot require the employee to use paid leave or reduce their compensation in any way during those breaks. Also, starting this coming year, this is one that we talked about the most on RiverBender.com. After 35 years, Illinois is repealing its 1% tax on groceries, which had been in place since 1990. 100% of those proceeds came from this tax, and it went directly to local municipalities, who were then given the option to impose their own local grocery tax at the same rate. Municipalities had to pass their own ordinances ahead of October the 1st, deadline to start collecting these 1% grocery taxes by January. Several communities around the Riverbend passed several ordinances earlier this year to impose them, including Alton, Belleville, Bethalto, Edwardsville, Glen Carbon, Jerseyville, and Wood River. Instead of replacing the state's expiring grocery tax, however, the Village of Godfrey, they voted to impose a 0.75% general sales tax increase, which takes effect on January 1st. While trustees later voted to impose a local 1% grocery tax on top of it, the grocery tax ordinance was immediately vetoed by Mayor McCormick, who cited concerns of overtaxing residents. In a tied 3-3 vote at a later meeting, trustees ultimately fell short of overriding the mayor's veto. There's some other bills that are taking effect and other laws and changes in 2026, and under SB 3203, the cost of prescription inhalers, including rescue and control inhalers, has been capped at $25 each under the Illinois Health Insurance Plan, beginning on January 1st. House Bill 3328 amends the Assisted Living and Shared Housing Act by requiring prospective residents of assisted living or shared housing facilities to undergo an assessment for Alzheimer's and dementia prior to admission using expert-approved or recommended assessment tools. Senate Bill 1976, or the Workers' Rights and Workers' Safety Act, prevents the state of Illinois from reducing its safety protections for workers any further than the federal standard set in 2025, even if such workers' protections are reduced further at the federal level. House Bill 1616 expands the state's existing blood and organ donation leave law to apply to part-time employees. This requires certain employers to provide part-time workers with paid leave for purposes of organ donation. The law does not apply to private employees with less than 51 employees. For tax years ending on or after December 31st, 2025, Illinois is also adopting the Finnegan method for combined reporting for unitary business, along with several other tax changes, which may increase tax liabilities for certain multi-state businesses. And that's really it when it comes to those new laws taking shape. That's one of our most read stories of the morning. Dalton Brown did a great job. A full recap of that is available again at the RiverBender.com news section. A quick break. We're going to come back and talk all things A.B.O.B right after this.
20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
What's up? It's my Keith. What's up, bro? What's good, my guy? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and longtime supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank. The local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back, Daily Show. It's a Wednesday at 9:20. Let me take the slower third off anyway. We don't need that. A.B.O.B, 36 years of the craft fair, and it continues this weekend. Yeah. This is exciting. You know, I really, ever since I started the show, we've talked about the craft fair and just had fun doing it, and it's always really cool to just see everyone coming together for such a large event and just to see how it keeps growing.
Yeah, and it's amazing. And A.B.O.B stands for Alton Band and Orchestra Builders. That organization has been around since 1948, supporting our band orchestra kids so that all students in our district have equal opportunity, equal access to our band and orchestra program.
Well, and Ms. Palmer, you're the orchestra director, correct?
Yes.
And what I think is so cool, and I've said it on the show multiple times, is the students in the district, just from all ages, are really talented. And to be able to provide more opportunities through A.B.O.B has got to be just a really great addition to a music community that is often underlooked compared to, you know, sports and everything else. And it really does deserve the same praise.
Yeah, and it's amazing because this community has always been very supportive of our music program, especially the Marching 100.
Yeah.
We have 3 of our students here: Atticus, Bella, and Sam. But you know, this community and our administration too, they're incredibly supportive. And it's a long storied history, and it's great. It's still going strong.
Absolutely. And, you know, let's go into the nuts and bolts real quick of the event before we talk about everything overall. It's going to be all weekend or Saturday, Sunday?
This Saturday, Sunday, December, as the kids say, 6/7.
Yeah.
Sorry. We got a little fun video of some of the, I know you guys they weren't.
So I didn't even know what that meant. I just kept seeing my nephews, and I saw the basketball game where they hit got to 67. Like, what are these kids going crazy for? And then I realized I'm old, I've lost it.
You're not that old.
So I like that though. So the 6/7, did you guys get some good hits on that?
It's on our private Facebook group because the kids who were in it like, oh, please don't share it. I don't want my friends to see it. But I'm like, yeah, we got to share it.
You got to share it. Sorry.
But yeah, it's this weekend, Saturday, December 6th. We have breakfast at 8 a.m. and the craft fair opens from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's $4 admission. And Sunday, the craft fair runs 10 to 4 with breakfast at 9, and that's $3 admission.
And now, fill me in real quick on how it breaks down, because I know that the vendors actually keep what they make, right? And you just take the admission fees, correct?
Right, and they pay a booth fee, $100.
That's right.
Yep, and so some of them have like a single booth and they're taped off and measured out very carefully. But some people get singles and doubles, even quadruples.
Wow.
But yeah, they keep that. We have food in the cafeteria. Parking is free. But yeah, all proceeds go back to our students.
That's really cool, and it's really important to note that too. And I think it's great for potential vendors. I know it fills up quick, and that's a fight. Don't you have folks from out of state coming in to be a part of this?
We do. I can't remember from how far.
I remember Texas one year.
Yeah, we might. I know we're definitely in the Midwest area for sure. Iowa, Indiana, maybe I got to look and see.
How many vendors do you have?
Over 150, 175, and then there's a waiting list of 20. And we've been full since October.
That's incredible.
So yeah.
And how many are on the team to put this event together every year? Because I know there's a committee for this.
Yeah, great question. Actually, Amy and Brian Macias, shout out to them. Woo!
Good job.
Yeah, thank you, Amy and Brian. They organize it and just their place in the crafters, dealing with this and that, and I need this, and the sign-ups and everything, and it's just a lot. Especially this last since like September, it really kicks into high gear. And then we have our treasurer helps out with that, with counting money. Our president of A.B.O.B, Louise Hart-Chapman, helps out. It's tremendous help running errands and stuff like that. Atticus' mom, yes, thank you. Laura Harden oversees our kitchen, gets the food ordered and everything. We have heaters, breakfast sandwiches and heaters, chicken sandwiches for lunch.
Oh, when?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
When?
This weekend, yes.
Yeah, no, I said that's a win.
Oh, it is definitely a win. It's definitely a win. Heaters, thank you, heaters, yeah. We have Brad Donahoe, a pastor at Upper Alton Baptist Church, who helps us out with parking. Christy Futhies overseeing getting the door admissions. We have parents. Hey, parents, we still need desserts. Shut up there.
I want to make sure that was
Make
working.
sure this heard, yeah. We have parents who volunteer. We got a lot of band orchestra parents, middle school, elementary, coming in to volunteer all over the place this weekend.
That's got to be really cool just to see the community coming together and really make it fun for you guys to be a part of it too, because I'm sure it's all hands on deck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Atticus, if your mom's there, I'm sure you got to be there too.
I'm there since probably 7th grade, and I'm a junior now. So.
Oh wow! Yeah. Well, fill me in, guys. So give us your background in music, and then with the program too, if it's okay. Atticus, we'll start with you.
Like I said, I'm a junior. I play trumpet, and then just merged.
I'm also a junior. I played the trumpet, and then I became drum major for the Marching 100.
Wow, really cool.
My name's Sam, and I've been head drum major for the past 3 years. Been marching for the past 4.
Wow.
And been playing the trumpet as well.
That's really cool. Well, and it's to me, I just think it's really important to showcase Alton's musical talents. And we'll start with you, Atticus, again. How did you get inspired to pick up the trumpet? Was that in the family, or did you hear something one day and go, I can do just as well? Because I tried, and it was not even close, and it was just better for everybody for me to pretend it never happened.
So, I don't remember how old I was, but my aunt gave me just this trumpet, and I had it for a while, and then come 5th grade, that's when band opened to me as an opportunity, so I decided I was going to play a trumpet and actually get some use out of it. Did that, and then COVID happened, so I was on Zoom band. Wasn't very good during that time. I stuck through it, and then just have stuck with it ever since.
Really cool. Bella, how'd you get into to music?
Well, at first, I really wanted to play the saxophone in 5th grade, but my mom wanted me to play the trumpet because she played the trumpet.
Gotcha.
I was like, okay. And then throughout band, I got really close to this other girl that plays the trumpet, Quinn, and we just kind of bonded over it, and now I just love it. I love playing the trumpet.
That's really cool. Sam, how'd you get into it?
I started in 5th grade as well with Atticus. That's when it opened up to us. And in middle school, I really got hooked because of our directors there.
Really? And see, that's what it really goes down to, too, Ms. Plummer, is the fact that there's so many great and talented teachers and directors and throughout all of the arts and throughout Alton School District. But it's really cool to see that team. And really, every time I have a group of students in from A.B.O.B and from orchestra or band, it's the same answer every time.
Yeah, and it starts in our elementary school. Our elementary general music teachers are phenomenal. They build an incredible foundation for us. Orchestra starts in 4th grade. I've got a great feeder with that team, Sally Pierce and Abby Kanoki. Abby's a former student of mine. And then our band directors, band starts in 5th grade, and that's Kenny King, Chris Jardin. Middle school, Kenny King, Chris Jardin, Chuck Willard. And in high school, we have a new head band director, Matt Chesner, is doing a great job with that. And again, Chuck Willard at the high school doing percussion, and our assistant band director. So,
how long have you been with Alton School District?
A long time, 30 years.
Oh wow! So
yeah.
So A.B.O.B, the craft fair's got you beat by 6 years, huh? How much fun is it to put on the fair? Because I know, and I'll ask everyone that question because I know it takes a lot, and everyone all hands on deck. Is it fun or is it stressful? I think is the question I'll ask you.
Go for it.
I find it fun.
Cool. Bella, fun?
I definitely think it's worth it because then I can go shopping and like get all this cute stuff. There's so much cute stuff there.
Yeah.
Sam?
The volunteer opportunity is really fun.
That's really cool, man. I like that a lot. And like you said, the vendors are really good. And I think that's where, if folks are looking for their holiday shopping too, Laura, this is the opportunity to do it. And that way you don't have to worry about your cousin getting the same gift for grandma on Amazon, and then we all look bad.
Yeah.
Hey, it's 9:32. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back and talk all about the craft fair some more. You stay there. We'll be here on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank. The local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Just see those sleigh bells jingle and ring, tingle, tingling too. Come on, it's lovely weather for a sleigh ride together with you. Outside the snow is falling and friends are calling you. Come on, it's lovely.
Welcome back, Daily Show. 9:34 is the time. Wednesday morning continues, and so is the 9 o'clock hour. This Saturday and Sunday, A.B.O.B is going to be unveiling their 36th annual craft fair. And what are the times again, Laura?
It is Saturday the shopping is 9 to 4, thank you guys, 9 to 4 with breakfast at 8 a.m. Sunday shopping is 10 to 3 with breakfast at 9 a.m.
Really cool. And breakfast is always good, too.
Yeah, we have heaters, chicken sandwiches, breakfast egg sandwiches, Mr. Donut stuff from them. I mean, it's good, yummy stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, and now, on Sunday, is there a special that goes on Sunday? Am I getting something wrong?
At the end of the day, we'll be clearing out food and everything like that. But yeah.
Okay, that's what I was curious about.
Yeah.
And then it all goes back, the admission fee and the booth fee, it all goes back to the band and A.B.O.B. And take us through the impact that A.B.O.B has had really throughout the time, because they've been around for forever.
Yeah, they've been around since 1948, and it started out as raising uniforms for money for a uniform uniforms for the marching band at the time, and it just kept going. And in the mid 1950s, it included orchestra. They provide all the covers the repair costs for all of our instruments in the district, which is anywhere from $12,000 to $14,000 a year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They cover all the fees for the marching band competitions.
Which you guys are very successful at.
Yeah. They did a pretty good year this year. Yeah. And oh my gosh, what else? New equipment. We have students selected for the Illinois Music Educators All-State. We just found that out today, and they cover for those students hotel costs and fees, things like that.
That's
My
really
orchestra goes on trips, and they cover the bus for that, and to festivals and things. We're a middle school orchestra and high school. So yeah, a lot.
That's really cool. And it's good for the public to know that, too, before you guys finish up your Christmas shopping, or if you're like me and you're waiting a little bit left. Every year I tell myself, I'm going to do this in the summertime and be done. No, never happens. Never happens, but it's going to next year. Because this year I still got to finish shopping. But whenever we go, take us through the variety, because there's a ton of different opportunities here for everybody.
Yeah. First off, people can find out the information on A.B.O.B.net, A.B.O.B.net. And also we have a public Facebook page. If they search on Facebook, Alton Band and Orchestras with the ampersand for and, dash A.B.O.B., they can find that information there as well. And my gosh, we have... I'll start because these kids do all the shopping. I don't really get out because I'm helping out in the office and things like that. I want to get out shopping this year for sure because there's so many cool things. There's wreaths. There's a bunch of really cool crocheted animals. Go ahead, you guys, go down the line and Sam, what do you see?
What do you think?
There was this one lady last year with some pickles, and she had like every flavor of pickle you could imagine, and I really like that place. There's also just like a lot of cute jewelry and arts and crafts.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some really cute plants from there, and just some arts and crafts and stuff.
That's cool.
There's all sorts of stuff. There's like, I saw like someone selling like cattle skulls that have been cleaned and stuff. There's hot sauce. There's all sorts of the pen guy.
Mm-hmm. There's actually multiple.
Yeah.
Pens?
Mm-hmm. They're like handmade wooden pens.
Oh, like you can write with?
Yes,
Yeah.
they're really cool.
Wow.
He's been with us for a while, yeah.
That's super cool.
And it just, like I said, go to A.B.O.B.net. It lists all the vendors and where they're located, along with our menu. Admission on Saturday's $4. Sunday is $3.
Well, and too, I see a big red donate now button, and that means we can donate at any time through that QR code, or you can make checks payable. And A.B.O.B., that is a 501c3, correct?
It is, yes.
That means
you will get a tax letter thanking you for your donation.
That means Uncle Sam loves you to love A.B.O.B. as you're wrapping up the year. So with that being said, what's the best part of the event? And I'll ask everyone that question. Is it the actual day, or is it getting the excitement going that, hey, we're doing this again and this is our big day of the year? Because this is a huge fundraiser.
For me, I mean, just seeing the same crafters who have been with us for many years. They started at the old high school and moved with us to the new high school, and just that sense of community. The people who come in, I mean, we're flooded. Over 1,000 people come in. Definitely on Saturday. Sunday sometimes a little lower. So we're hoping and praying for good weather this weekend. So come out and shop. But yeah, it's an incredible just sense of community, and the support we get is amazing.
Absolutely. What do you guys think?
Through like the buzz of it all, especially like Saturday evening, just seeing everyone's set up, everyone's running around, getting their stuff done, like from the volunteer side and just like the shopper side. And when you get a break and you can see everything, I think that's the best part.
Absolutely. And Bella?
Oh, yeah, once you've been running around all crazy, setting stuff up, and you get a break, and you can just look around and buy new things and shop with your friends. It's really fun.
Really cool.
I like helping the crafters set up, just interacting with the people that have the booths, because they make the whole thing possible, and they're all really nice.
That's super cool, yeah. Hey, so you guys are probably wondering, how in the heck do they spread out 100+ vendors throughout of it? Let me tell you, because I just found out too. If you go to the website A.B.O.B.net when you donate today, first, then you go to this section, you find out more about some of the drinks that are going to be on hand. Here's your lunch menu, your breakfast menu. Look at that. I'm in. That's actually that's a good menu to start out with. And here's your crafters in the cafeteria. I would try to read those, but my show's only 2 hours long. And you have them in the main hallway, the main square, the lower square and gym body, or gym lobby, and then you have it in the upper square too. So you guys can see all of this at A.B.O.B.net. It's all laid out really well. And the high school, once you get in there, it looks intimidating for anyone that's maybe new into town or that hasn't gone to Alton High or never went to the new high school. But once you're in there, it's like a small town. It's squared off. We can get there, and everyone's going to find where they need to go.
Yep, and we have signage everywhere showing people where they can go. You know, hey, more crafters upstairs, more crafters downstairs. There is an elevator by the main entrance. Yeah, definitely you can get around there. But I mean, it's just magical to see it. We've always talked about maybe setting up like a what do you call one of those cameras that captures a setup? You know, going from a high school lunch cafeteria, you know, that feeds 1,800 kids to like ta-da, magical Christmas town and the whole entire, you know, B building and the high school, you know, down at the cafeteria.
It's really cool. Yeah. That would be something fun to do.
It is really cool.
Any final thoughts before we head off into this weekend?
Please come to the craft fair. It's a good time.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, support the crafters that are there.
It'll be really fun.
Yeah, and thanks again to the community for their amazing support of our program. We love you guys all. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Not a problem. 9:42, a little bit of change. We'll link everything in a write-up on RiverBender.com. I'm going to take a quick break, come back, wrap up the 9 o'clock hour. You stay there, and I'll be here. Roku TV, Apple Podcasts, RiverBender.
What's up? It's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and longtime supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nicello on RiverBender.com.
Oh, Daily Show, welcome back. It is 9:44 on this Wednesday morning. Lacy McDonald joins us as we kick off the 10 o'clock hour in a couple of minutes. But hey, wanted to fill you in that Dalton Brown is bringing us the latest on Edwardsville voters facing this video gambling referendum on the March 2026 ballots. This is a non-binding referendum that's aimed to gauge whether the community climate towards video gambling has changed since voters rejected the last referendum in 2021. Here's what we know about this. So they'll get this chance next spring to make their stance on video gambling known to city leaders. Edwardsville City Council members on Tuesday did approve adding a non-binding referendum on the March 17th general primary election ballot regarding video gambling in Edwardsville. The exact wording was amended after a lengthy discussion between council members. And here's how it will appear on the ballot. Shall the city of Edwardsville allow video gambling subject to regulations in existing establishments with on-premises consumption of alcohol and liquor? And that, again, is shall the city of Edwardsville allow video gambling subject to regulations in existing establishments with on-premises consumption of alcohol and liquor. Now, Alderwoman Elizabeth Grant said this renewed push for ballot referendum is based on urgent requests from small business owners for Edwardsville to allow video gambling in more establishments. Edwardsville is currently the only city in the Riverbend which only allows video gaming in lodges and fraternal organizations, but not bars, not restaurants, and other businesses. So here's what we know. Ryan High, the owner of Global Brew and Brick and Bramble, voiced his support for the new referendum during the public comment portion on Tuesday. High said his Global Brew location is preparing to add video gambling at a lengthy process which takes 265 days since he first applied. He said O'Fallon's restrictive approach to video gambling could serve as a model for Edwardsville, noting that despite being heavily regulated, video gambling has generated $330,000 in additional revenue for O'Fallon over the past year. Now, Edwardsville City Council's overall desire to ensure video gambling, it's properly regulated within the city's lead to a lengthy, led to a lengthy discussion, and it led to this over exactly how it should be worded, and it was discussed to make sure it doesn't confuse any voters. And originally, the referendum simply stated, shall the city of Edwardsville allow video gambling? And now, after feedback from local business owners at the last ACS committee meeting, Grant said the wording was changed to, shall the city of Edwardsville allow restricted video gambling in existing establishments with on-premise consumption of alcohol and liquor. At Tuesday's city council meeting, Alderman Chris Farrar raised concerns about the word restricted being potentially confusing for voters. Farrar said the average voter may falsely interpret the wording to mean the city would allow some type of restricted activity. Grant said the word restricted was added with the intention of informing voters that video gambling is not going to be everywhere. That was her quote. Farrar later pointed out that the ways in which video gambling is restricted in Edwardsville depend entirely on city leadership, including not just the city council, but the city's future aldermen, who eventually may allow video gambling to be everywhere. Alderman S.J. Morrison said that while he personally does not support an expansion of video gambling operations within the city, he will ultimately support the will of voters. Alderman Adam Hanna said voters already rejected a similar ballot referendum in 2021, and based on what he has heard from his constituents, he doesn't feel the public's opinion on video gambling has changed since. However, the mayor disagreed, stating that while voters may have felt that way in 2021, it may be worth seeing whether voters' feelings on the matter have changed or not after 5 years. Now, after some discussion and debate, the city council members voted 5-1 to add that non-binding referendum to the March 17th ballot. And that's on the general primary election ballot, and it does have that amended language. Hannah cast the sole vote against adding the referendum, while Alderman William Krause was absent from the meeting. A full recording of that is available at RiverBender.com, but that's just another one of the local news stories that we're following this morning. At 9:50, before we take a quick break, I did want to fill you in that, coming up in a few short days is going, or not short days, few short weeks is going to be the Ice Festival from Great Rivers and Routes. And really one of my favorite events. It's such a fun time to be out there on the, riverfront and just seeing, hopefully the river frozen over and just having a good old time, that Eagle Ice Festival. And, while we're gearing up for it, I just want to redirect you to Rivers and Routes website. You'll see that advertised more and more as we head into the new year, and you can find out more information at RiversandRoutes.com. But that Alton Eagle Ice Festival is set for January the 2nd. We're going to talk more about that here in a couple of days. There's going to be live fire performers, live music, ice carving, craft cocktail bars, food trucks, whiskey samplings, face painting, s'mores kits for the fire pits they have there. And then on that Saturday, it's a 2-day event. They got more entertainment, live ice carving activities for the kids. That craft cocktail bar continues. S'mores kits continue. And then they even have Bald Eagle meet and greets on Saturday. It's going to be a really fun time. There will be food trucks there on Friday. There'll be food trucks on Saturday too, but there's also more. The Audubon Center during this time period will be open from 10 a.m. until 2 Saturday with donation-based guided hikes. There will be $10 ticketed Eagle meet and greet sessions and so much more. We'll talk about it again here soon, but make sure you get some more details at riversandroutes.com. That's riversandroutes.com, and don't forget to tell them that Riverbender sent you over their way.
What's up? It's my Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is the White Works, president of Works Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. The White has been an outspoken and long-time supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nicello on RiverBender.com.
Hop-along boots and a pistol that shoots is the wish of Barney and Ben. Dolls that'll talk and we'll go for a walk is the hope of Janice and Jen. And Mom and Dad can hardly wait for school to start again. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go.
9:54, a little bit of change. Hey, did you see this? Hey, come back here. Did you see this? So, this is from our oddities with their partnership with the AP. There was a masked burglar that broke into the closed Virginia liquor store on a Saturday, and man, he hit the bottom shelf. Look at this. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not. This is This is the masked intruder. A raccoon broke into this Virginia liquor store and got just absolutely annihilated. They found it passed out on the bathroom floor. You know what? I've been to a lot of bathrooms in my time, driving across country doing vacations and soccer. That's not a bad liquor store bathroom. They should be proud of that. Could be worse. I would probably mop the floor after you get the raccoon up, but here we go. There's more to the story though. Kind of funny. So the Saturday morning, an employee at the Virginia area liquor store found the trashed raccoon on the bathroom floor at the end of his drunken escapade, and the animal control officers were on the way, so they took to Facebook to share the giggle along the way. The Hanover County Animal Protection and Shelter commended Martin for handling the break-in and confirmed that the raccoon did sober up after a few hours of sleep. He was safely released back into the wild and, hopefully learned that breaking and entering is not the answer, the agency said. How about not getting drunk? That probably, would be the first step to getting better. What about this? You ever have, so much money you can just throw it away on a Fabergé egg? Well, someone did. $30 million on an egg. A rare crystal and diamond Fabergé egg crafted for Russia's ruling family before it was toppled by revolution shattered records on Tuesday as it sold at auction for £22.9 million. $30.2 million. for an egg. The winter egg. Sorry, it has a name. The winter egg. $30 million winter egg. The winter egg, which was compared to the iconic Mona Lisa, was just one of 7 of the ovoids remaining in private hands. Christie's London auction house said it's a 4-inch tall egg made from finely carved rock crystal, covered in a delicate snowflake motif, wrought in platinum, and 4,500 tiny diamonds. Okay, well that the price is starting to add up here. It opened to reveal a removable tiny basket of bejeweled quartz flowers symbolizing spring. An egg. The sale price, which included a buyer's premium, topped the $18.5 million paid at a 2007 auction for another egg created for the Rothschild banking family. Craftsman Peter Carl Fabergé and his company created more than 50 of the eggs for Russia's imperial family between 1885 and 1917, each elaborately unique and containing a hidden surprise. Tsar Alexander III started the tradition by presenting an egg to his wife each Easter. His successor, Nicholas II, extended the gift to his wife and mother, too. So there you go. So anyway, it was bought by a London dealer. If you want to know what happened to Nicholas and his family, they were executed in 1918, but that doesn't matter in terms of why we are spending $30 million on this egg. It was bought by a London dealer for £450 when the cash-strapped authorities sold off some of Russia's artistic treasures in the 1920s, and the egg changed hands several times. It was believed lost for 2 decades until it was auctioned by Christie's in 1994 for more than 7 million Swiss. That was 5.6 million at the time. This egg's been sold a lot. I bet you there's some bad karma on this egg. It sold again in 2002 for 9.6 million. I mean, you're making money off of it, but at what cost? I'm telling you, there's a reason this egg's going. Each time the egg is sold, it has set a world record price for Fabergé item. The head of Christie's Russian art department called the egg the Mona Lisa for decorative arts. There are 43 surviving an egg of Fabergé eggs. I mean, they're mostly in museums. I'm not saying they aren't cool, but who has $30 million to throw away like that? You know, I mean, I'm not one of those people. I'm not saying whoever bought it, I'm glad you have it, but just give me $300,000, and I guarantee you, I could probably turn it around quicker than that egg could. Who knows? Now, the egg is a priceless item, it looks like. But I'm just saying, you know, if you have $30 million, give me $30,000 and let me see what I can do with it. We'll make $1 million. $9.58, a little bit of change. We'll come back with more Daily Show. And if you have $30 million for a Fabergé egg, sponsor the show for 2026. We'll come back with top of the hour news, Lacy McDonald, and all the fun stuff that awaits you next.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Discover Del Mar Public House, located in Godfrey's historic Clifton Schoolhouse. Enjoy bold flavors like homemade falafel.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Do what I say. The child, sleeping in the night, he will bring us goodness and light. He will bring us goodness.
10:02, top of the hour news on this Wednesday morning. Here's what you need to know. Make sure you download the RiverBender.com app, and you'll never miss out as I am dying on the vine. Man, the air quality is just getting worse today. I need to take a Claritin. I need to take allergy medicine every day, but, enough of my problems. Hey, make sure you sign up for that daily email update, too. You'll join myself and well over 80,000 people. I don't even know the number anymore, but it keeps growing. They're in the know each and every day of the work week and on Saturdays with Around the Riverbend. Top of the hour news now. Early on the morning of November the 19th, deputies from the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office, assisted by Pike County officers, responded to a disturbance reported on Porcupine Lane in Hardin. Upon investigation, 40-year-old Heloy Foster of Alton was arrested on charges of intimidation, assault, and disorderly conduct. Foster taken to Greene County Jail following the arrest. The Calhoun County Sheriff's Office extended thanks to the Pike County Sheriff's Department for their cooperation during the incident. A fire erupted Tuesday morning at Lewis and Clark Community College's Webster Workforce Center in Godfrey, and it prompted the immediate cancellation of all welding classes. The blaze involved 2 alkaline tanks venting gas in multiple oxygen tanks, causing emergency crews from Godfrey, Alton, and Fosterburg to respond swiftly. The fire was extinguished within 21 minutes with no injuries reported, and all students and staff were safely evacuated. Authorities have blocked off the north side of the campus for safety, while early damage assessments indicate minimal impact. Officials continue to monitor that area, and the college has pledged to update the public as the situation develops. Nicole Rhodes is seeking community support following the recent tragic loss of her father, John, who died in a house fire. John was a loving father and devoted grandfather and known for his playful spirit and warmth at Brighton family gatherings. The family, now facing the emotional pain of his sudden passing along with the financial challenges of funeral and final expenses. They have launched a GoFundMe campaign to help cover these costs and provide John with a dignified farewell. Nicole expressed deep gratitude for any contributions. A full write-up and a link to that GoFundMe available at RiverBender.com/news. Overnight warming locations in Alton, Edwardsville, and Granite City have reopened this winter, to provide shelter, hot meals, showers, and community for individuals facing extreme cold and insufficient heat. Activated when temperatures hit 20 degrees or lower, the Owls welcome both unhoused individuals and anyone struggling with heat insufficiency. Volunteers like Isaac Sandage emphasize that the centers offer more than just a place to sleep. They build community and provide vital resources. As December 3rd, the Owls are seeking donations, volunteers, and community support to maintain their operations throughout the winter season. Various fundraising events are scheduled, and the locations continue to serve as a crucial lifeline during harsh weather conditions. Freer Auto Body hosted its annual Cookies and Cocoa for Community Christmas event from 4 to 6 p.m. on Tuesday at 4512 North Albee in Godfrey. The event aims to support local families in need by collecting cash donations, toys, coats, blankets, and personal care items. Organizers emphasize the importance of including teenagers in donations, as many families still require assistance. The event featured delicious cookies, cocoa, and cheer and a visit from Santa Claus himself. Community members came together and contributed to meet the campaign's goals. We'll have more updates on Community Christmas as the rollout of all those gifts and supplies roll out to area families. At 10:05, that's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend. Let's take a look at weather. 28 degrees in downtown Alton. It feels like 30 out there. Today, not as cold with clouds and sunshine, and tonight a few flurries this evening. Otherwise, it will just be cloudy and frigid. Air quality right now is at 70, which is moderate. Temperatures today reach 37 degrees and drop down to 12 overnight as we head into Thursday. On Thursday, a high of 23 degrees, a low of 12. And on Friday, a high of 35, a low of 24 degrees. On Saturday, a high of 38, a low of 25. And on Sunday, a high of 35, a low of 16. There's no rain or snow predicted these next 5 days, so it looks like we're in the clear. Sunday, you see a chance, but nothing really to write home about. There could be some snow flurries then. That's a look at your next 5. Here's what's happening now. It's 29 degrees in downtown Alton. It feels like 30 out there. You can call 618-465-4545 to stay up to date in real time all the time when it comes to weather, or you can download the RiverBender.com app today. 10:06, a quick break. Lacy McDonald takes us back into a time machine next.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
What's up? It's my Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and longtime supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
And then away went Rudolph, whizzing like a shooting star. Run, run, Rudolph, Santa meant to make it in town. Santa make him hurry, tell him he can take the freeway down. Run, run, Rudolph, reeling like a merry-go-round.
Welcome back, Daily Show. 10:10. Oh, I'm on time. How about that? Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I am hanging. It is cold in this room.
It is cold.
Yeah. And when I felt bad because the whole the BJJ studio upstairs, they have no heat in that room, so I'm sure you warm up to it, but man, oh man, that's cold.
And sometimes it's hot down here.
Yeah, when they turn the boiler on, it takes about 14 weeks to cool off. Whole lot of problems. Lacey, how are you? How's the family? How was your how was your Thanksgiving?
Yeah, that was the last thing. It was nice. We were here. We hung out with my in-laws and my brother-in-law, and didn't have to try to travel in the weather, so that was good too.
That's really good.
How was yours?
Oh, great. Family, and bedtime. Just a lot of sleeping. A lot of sleeping. Yeah. There's not much more to that. I don't know. Every week you join us to take us back 100 years, this time 75 years, but for a good reason.
Yes. Okay, so a little bit of backstory. A little over a year ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, but it was very, very early stage. It was stage 0, and we've talked a little bit about it. Treated it right away, and so I went through surgery and radiation. And now I'm fine. I take tamoxifen for the next 5 years.
That's right. You were telling me that.
Yeah, to prevent, I think it halves the risk of a reoccurrence. But one of the things that I did as I was working through my feelings about this, because it was a huge shock. I'm 41. I was 40 at the time. So it was not something that I expected. So anyway, one of the things I did was I knew that breast cancer had been much more of a death sentence in the past. So when I was diagnosed, I wasn't diagnosed in a way where I had to worry about the mortality of it at all.
Yeah.
It was, you get this fixed and then you're fine. So it was very stressful and it was upsetting, but it wasn't horrific the way that breast cancer used to be in the past, a breast cancer diagnosis. But I wanted to know exactly what the statistics were versus what they are now. And so I started looking around, and the crazy thing was, the first thing I found in the Alton Telegraph, the first real thing where they were talking about breast cancer, was 1950, which was exactly 75 years ago.
Wow.
So I just kind of had this as the plan to do for November for a while. But it was really, it really makes you grateful because we've come so far with technological advances for so many medical issues. So in 1950, if you got a breast cancer diagnosis, more than half of women died within 5 years after that diagnosis. It was insane. And now it's in the 90s that live. So I started looking at it more. And one of the reasons that they were talking about it in 1950 is because the American Cancer Society and the National Cancer Institute of the U.S. Public Health Service had just produced a film called Breast Self-Examination that showed women how to do a breast self-exam so that if there were any issues, they could catch it early and they weren't just relying on an annual exam with their doctor to catch breast cancer.
Wow, that's really fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're right, though. I mean, there's so many times you can think back and go, wow, if only we had this type of medicine.
Yeah.
I'm sure so many of the lives that were lost could have been prevented. And,
yes.
No one really talks about, too, the fact it was brutal if you had any type of, especially breast cancer, because you were essentially, if you wanted to proceed with treatment back, especially more than 100 years ago, you were getting a lot different. I mean, you literally were getting mutilated.
Oh, absolutely. And it wasn't just the breast. They had to remove part of the chest
That's
wall.
why I hate to be graphic about it.
Right.
But I mean, you realize that and you go, wow, we have come a long way where, you're flipping an axis, not even just dying of the disease, but dying of even surgery related to treatment,
Right. Well, and the surgeries that are available now.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Versus at the time. So,
does that stick with you? Because I mean, as someone that is ongoing and dealing with it, I mean, that's got to be kind of fascinating for you, and you're in your position too, and going, I'm actively dealing with this. I just battled, in early, thankfully in early stage, and I'm on, this pill for the next 5 years. But you look back and go, wow, I wonder if there's anyone else that was in my position or what that would have looked like, 75 or 100 years ago.
Well, they wouldn't have found it.
Yeah, that's so fascinating to me.
With what I had, it couldn't even be detected with an exam, a manual exam. It only could be detected with a mammogram. Mammograms didn't even really, they existed in some form, but until the 1960s, they weren't being used well, at least, for detecting breast cancer. I mean, it was a long history. They did x-rays and stuff, but until the 1960s, they weren't really able to do a real mammogram the way that we think of it now. So in 1950, when this film came out, by touch was really the only real way you could find breast cancer. And so doctors would do it at a woman's annual exam, but I mean, if you have the exam and then you don't check anything for a year, you could have cancer that has spread throughout your body by the time that they really figured anything out. So doctors knew at the time that if they could detect the cancer earlier, way fewer women would die. So they knew that this was really important, and this was a way to bring women into the process and like help them find it early enough. And one of the things they emphasized in the film was that not all bumps, lumps, whatever, are cancerous. So the point is, you see what you can feel, and then you go to your doctor and you say, I'm worried about this. Is a problem. And so they really didn't want to terrify women. I mean, there was this balance of like trying to help people be informed, but not make it a scary thing. And so I thought that was really nice.
Well, and like even in this, and you shared the graphic is, you know, I mean, even then early diagnosis increases the probability, and the, you know, whole thing is to, you know, show that, you know, if you, even back then in 1950, I mean, they're showing that, hey, 90% of this could be, you know, cured if you're, you know, if you're in the early stages of detection. It's just fascinating though. Like the mindset on it has never changed, that if you find it early, you're good. It's just, you know, the ways that we practice medicine have evolved so much that, you know, it's becoming less and less evasive, which is great. Yes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's always been that the earlier you can find it, the better your chances of survival. But yeah, how we find it has changed over the years.
What I think is interesting, so folks would gather and show this movie off?
Yeah, so the first local showing was done at where was it? Stratford, I think. It was at the Stratford Hotel, and it was done by the Madison County chapter of the American Cancer Society, and they had Audrey Campbell, who was the director of public education for the Illinois division, come down for the showing, and they had a doctor who could give a talk before the film and then do a question and answer session afterwards. So they invited area leaders, women, like leaders of women's groups and stuff, to come see it, and then they kind of offered this film. And they put that in every description of the showings, because there were multiple showings in the area. It said, if you want to do this for your group, here's how you do it. Here's who you contact to do it. So, and then I really loved this. One of the showings was at the American Legion, for the American Legion Hall. The American Legion Auxiliary did it. They hosted a screening. Anyone was welcome. You didn't have to be part of the group. But they had Dr. Mabel P. Williams address the group, and she was a female doctor, which was pretty rare for the time. And I really liked that too, because I think
that is really
would have made a lot of the women more comfortable. I mean, this was something that some of them were uncomfortable even discussing with their doctor. So that was part of it too. It was like how to do a breast self-exam, but also how to like talk to your own doctor about it when you were at your annual exam and not feel embarrassed about it.
Absolutely. You got a moment to take a quick break? Hey, before we do, just wanted to go into some quick breaking news this morning that we're following. Chris Rhodes is on the scene. Firefighters from multiple departments did respond to a shed and carport fire that threatened nearby homes in Roxana. Successfully contained the flames with no injuries reported. You're seeing that on your screen. That's part of it. The Roxana Fire Department did respond to this in the 200th block of West Tideman Street this morning. When firefighters arrived, they did encounter that heavy smoke you saw coming from that shed. A box alarm was called, and bringing in assistance from Wood River, South Roxana, and Rosewood Heights fire departments. Firefighters worked quickly to contain that blaze, which had spread to the back of the house. Meanwhile, the Edwardsville Fire Department did staff Roxana's fire station during the response. The cause of the fire is going to remain under investigation, but no injuries were reported. That's on part of our breaking news alert that just went out to all of your smartphones. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with Lacy next.
What's up? It's my Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and longtime supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Brought tidings of the same, how that in Bethlehem was born the Son of God by name. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy. Oh, star of wonder, star.
Back Daily Show. Wick with Lacy and the Time Machine 75 years ago. And before we go back into the article, which is a great one, and it's really fascinating just to see how medicine's come a long way, and really would just be interesting, and this is just where my brain goes, to talk to maybe somebody that is a breast cancer survivor from, before in the 50s and all that, and what that was like. Yeah. That's kind of fascinating. Genealogy and Local History is having an open house.
Yes, we're having an open house on Saturday from 11 to 1, so everyone is invited. We'll have all the decorations up. We'll have snacks, lemonade, cookies, stuff like that, games from the Victorian era.
That'll be fun. What are Victorian era games?
Oh, I can't remember all of them. Renee Johnson puts everything together. She's amazing. She's one of my staff members at the Genealogy Library, and she does all this research to figure out what people are playing. I think that there's like a Nellie Bly game. I want to say something about like Around the World in 80 Days game. I don't remember everything, but they're really cool.
I loved that movie when Jackie Chan did it. Did you ever see that?
No, I haven't seen it.
That was
I haven't
a good
seen
one.
it.
But it really is. And while you guys are going to the Genealogy and Local History Library's holiday open house from 11 a.m. to 1, bring your family and get your pictures for Christmas.
Yeah, you're gonna come do your family picture, right?
I am. It's at Stella's birthday that day, so we'll be going. We'll be going probably when do you open?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when are you open?
We
Monday?
open at 8:30, so you can come in. The official cookies and stuff will be out at 11, but 8:30 is when the library opens, and you can come take a picture.
I said I was going to be the first one this year. I want to be the first family of the inner photos.
Oh, okay.
Big deal.
Well, now you've told everybody, so you might have some competition.
No. Mary told everybody first. I want to throw that out there. I was going to keep it a secret until Beyond the Shelves segment hit, and she said, this is great for photos.
It really is.
Oh, man.
It really is.
That was my moment. I was the first one to take a picture in front of the Max guitar when it was lit.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I had
Good
my hands
job.
like this because I knew what I did. Know what I'm doing here. There's also going to be a time to enjoy decorations, create family history, crafts to take home. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Like what?
Again, Renee does all of this, and sometimes it's a surprise even for me. So I don't know what the craft is going to be this year. We've done picture frames before and cards, paper crafts. So I'm not entirely sure. It'll be a surprise.
And this will make me get some brownie points at home. You can also purchase your copy of the Alton ABC book, which is the most beautifully or graphically illustrated book I've ever seen. And I'm only not saying that because I live with the person that helped to create that book.
I thought so, yeah.
But it will be there. It really is a good book.
It
and
is. It's
they
really
all did
great.
a great job. But
They did.
Yeah. Really going to be fun. So 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on December 6th. I will be hopefully popping in there. I got breakfast with Santa with North Alton Godfrey that morning. And then we're going to have Estella's birthday party on the 6th, not in Alton. So we're going to go take Estella to Christmas.
Uh-huh.
Jackie's going to do the decorations and all the fun setup. And we will be reconvening in the early afternoon.
Got it. Oh, that'll be fun.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Time will tell.
Time will tell.
And then remember the local author book fair will be going on too. All right. Back to it.
Okay.
So what was your biggest takeaway of this article? What was your highlight of writing this? Because, it's obviously never a fun thing to write about. It's a serious disease. But whenever you get to talk about a nuance of something, or really just a way to kind of elevate or showcase how far, something's come is probably really cool too.
You know what? This wasn't really a depressing article to write because I was specifically writing about the film and how so many people knew that this was going to help a lot of women and keep a lot of women alive.
Yeah.
And it really helped me feel grateful for living in this time period and having the treatment and care that I've had. So it wasn't a sad article to write. I wanted to really do it justice. But it mostly just made me feel grateful. And, I really loved learning about the women that put this together. And I checked if Dr. Maybelle Williams was buried in Alton City Cemetery in case she could be a vintage voiceless person. She's a Valhalla, so that's no. But yeah, I get to know people that were doing things, like the women that brought the film to Alton and the various organizations. So I mentioned two of them, but it also was at the YWCA during their Ladies' Day Out luncheon.
Uh-huh.
And then at St. Matthew's Church, they did a showing following an Altar Society meeting. And so hundreds of women in the area saw it. And it was being shown all over the country too. So it wasn't just here, but I like to think about all the people whose lives were saved because they saw this film and they were able to take their care into their own hands.
Absolutely. Lacy, it's always great talking with you, and thank you so much for your time as always. We'll take a quick break. Daily Show at 10:27 will continue after this one on Roku TV, Apple Podcasts, everywhere you get the show. Oh, wait, no, I can't. I got to do my job. I do have work to do. Ameren, Illinois is a new sponsor of this show, and they're hard at work at putting energy to work for us. They're installing storm hardening power poles. They're even installing new advanced sensors, and they're rolling out mobile command centers to respond to storms quicker and get the power on faster. Coming up tomorrow, Ameren, Illinois will be back on the show as they talk to us about the latest improvements to Alton's grid and more that happens throughout the region. You can learn more at Ameren.com/energy future. That's Ameren.com/energy future.
What's up? It's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? What's good, my guy? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and longtime supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals
Throughout
make
all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
I'm so happy Christmas. We hope you had fun. The near and the dear one.
Welcome back. The time is 10:31 on this third day of December. It's a Wednesday. It's kind of nice to have the first day of the month fall on a Monday, so I never get confused on what day of the week it is.
That is nice to have.
Dr. Pamela Denise Long joins us now, Republican candidate for Senate in the upcoming 2026 midterms. Primary season is here.
It is upon us, yes. I launched my campaign in May, and it has been a whirlwind. I have put 40,000 miles on my car since that time, traveling all across the state from the border of Wisconsin down to the, Ohio River and all points in between. It's been enlightening.
I bet. And, that's so, in ways, I think refreshing for voters to hear about, too, is just the mileage and all the groundwork because, sometimes, and especially right now, it seems like there's a little bit of an animosity with some of the national Republican figures, not, federally, but throughout our state that, maybe don't put in that extra work because they think, hey, I have a safe district. And, getting the miles on the car and meeting voters where they're at, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, I think most people want to vote for someone they know. We have 102 counties in Illinois. I mean, I talk to people about being downstate and they think that I'm, at the bottom of the state. And I'm like, no, there's a 2.5 to 3 hours more of Illinois. So I get it. But people need to see you. People need to really understand what you're about. And I think people have really appreciated the work that I've put in, the sweat that I've put in over the summer and parades and all that. So,
well, and take me through that journey a little bit and what leads up to that decision, because, it's one thing, and I'm not degrading any office because we all need to run for public office or we all need folks to do it. It's, it's different to run for, an alderman position and then to run for United States Senate for a long time, stronghold, Democratic seat.
Yeah.
What was the thought that goes into that?
Yeah. So this is the question people ask: why are you doing this to yourself? It's a task.
Yeah.
I tell people repeatedly that folks have asked me to run over the years. I've toyed with it because I can see the issues. I've been actively involved politically as a voter. I could not wait to vote. I think I skipped to my polling place when I could finally vote at 18. And I've appreciated through my college years the importance at Mizzou, the importance of actually engaging with elected officials. I was very fortunate. My occupational therapy program, which is my first career, would take us to the Capitol to advocate for health-related interests and also professional regulation for our field, which the state didn't have at the time. So I've always kind of appreciated the importance of having sound governance and speaking up with your voice. So, I wrote for a column for Newsweek for like 3 or 4 years, writing about the issues, writing about solutions, because I'm a solution-oriented person as an interventionist. And I've had the fortune of being able to consult with some really powerful folks. I had an opportunity to consult with the Trump campaign and advise them on how to address the immigration crisis and the folks being ignored in Chicago. That was back in 2023. And I think what happened, CJ, is that life presented an opportunity to actually be the change instead of asking other people to do it and depending on their courage, their will to get things done.
Well, I think it's such an interesting perspective, too, where you're coming from with being, a weekly, you're writing a column for Newsweek, and you get to see on a different level the issues in which the everyday American feels in some way, shape, or form. And maybe they don't always agree on the solution, but the issue still is there.
Yeah.
And so when you're writing about these things and you start to put this campaign together, how quickly did that platform formulate? Was it one that just made sense right away and it's time to go?
Yeah. And so the interesting part about my column is that I originally just started writing on LinkedIn. Writing in the darkness. No one on LinkedIn engages with controversial material. Most people don't because they're trying to find a job. So they don't want their footprint. Right? And so, whereas I'm like, this needs to be said. Someone needs to pick this up and do something about it. And then I got tapped through relationships and whatnot to write, a debate piece at Newsweek. And it just blossomed from there because they liked my perspective. And so, yes, much of what I'm running on is issues that I've been talking about. And interestingly, so I had a Twitter account. I had like 200 followers. I have no idea who those people really were. And then folks started sharing my Newsweek columns and I got back on and then I started talking about my political beliefs. And now I have 12.5 thousand or something like that followers. Not a large following, but I also engage in Twitter spaces. So I invite people to come in and have difficult conversations. People from around the world have joined my spaces, up to 30,000 people at one point. And so I'm also informed by these years of hearing these diverse perspectives from people around the country and also folks in Illinois.
Well, and I think that's such a good parallel to Illinois and just the way the state breaks down in terms of your constituents. Because, the more southern you go, you're going to see the red counties pop up, but you still have the folks that feel like they're neglected from, Chicago,
Absolutely.
and there's a lot of that.
Yes.
But, in your position, if you come out ahead in March and then in November things look good and you flip this seat, you still have to, represent everybody. And I think it's important to have, a space to where it's okay to have folks in a conversation that disagree with you. It doesn't mean we hate each other, you know? And now, have you had those conversations up and down the road so far?
Oh my goodness, absolutely. And what I'm finding is that most people want solutions. Sure, there are people who are fed up or they buy into the social media rhetoric where you're pointing fingers at each other. That kind of stuff is going to happen. But the majority of people are simply looking for solutions. They're tired of the performance. They're tired of the Twitter sort of social media sort of beef, and they want people to actually put Americans first, and that's what I've been all about these years.
Well, and before we go into some of your policy priorities and we talk about that, take me through what it's like to just advise, on a national level a little bit, because I think that's a fascinating kind of lead-in as we talk about some of your policy standpoints, because this was a heavy issue in Chicago where residents were quite frankly fed up.
Yeah. So I did a lot of behind the scenes work in terms of consulting with organizations in DC and developing other stakeholders to get involved with it. I did a lot of case making at my Newsweek column as well. I met some really great friends who were well connected, which is how I had the opportunity to talk with Laura Trump and some folks in the Trump sort of circle. What's it like? It's funny because I've never been particularly starstruck. And so for me, it was really just having a conversation. It was really bringing an analytical lens to what the campaign needed in order to actually bring more people who are generally conservative over to this sort of Americans first, secure our borders, hire Americans, start investing in our own people sort of conversation. So it has been great to see some of my work in words and people grow and develop and just sort of take off. So
absolutely. And, that leads into right now some of these policy priorities that, tie right in is right now it seems like there was for a couple of weeks anyway a pretty public war of words between the president and the governor, and in your position you're a federal figure, you're a United States senator, but what do you see in that if this seat flips? Governor Pritzker is still going to be Governor Pritzker. Right. He's not up for election. Or he still will be Governor Pritzker. But my point is, how are you going to have that conversation? With the governor, now that you have your input into some of, Trump's immigration policies. What do you make of it to begin with? Is it even beneficial?
Well, Donald Trump's going to be Donald Trump too, right? So, and there's no one like him, right? And so, my plan is to make sure, as a federal representative in the Senate, there are only 2 senators per state and 100 of us, right? Is to make sure that I'm working with whoever is governor, whether a Republican candidate is successful at their bid, or if it's Governor Pritzker. Ultimately, what I want is for the people of Illinois to thrive and for Americans to be put first. And I'm pretty sure that there are areas of commonality between myself and the governor, although immigration and his approach to it is definitely not one of them.
Absolutely. And for the folks at home that are going, CJ, don't forget about the governor's race. I'm just looking at the polls, and we'll see. You just never know. Now, going into this, though, on top of this, what are your most important policies or most important topics that you want to address and you want to tackle today that you think the public needs to know about as they head into March?
Yeah, so the healthcare issue is one that's ongoing, right?
Yeah.
So we have till the end of this month, essentially, to make some decisions about that. It's not going to go away, meaning that during my tenure and or shortly during a second term, if I have one, it will come up again. In addition to the adult healthcare issue, we have the Children's Health Insurance Program, which is going to be up for reauthorization in 2027. So right after I am sworn in, and that needs to be addressed. So I want to make sure that we're making healthcare affordable. I love the idea of health savings accounts because they're, first of all, inheritable. You can use them for whatever you want once you get to be at retirement age. The medical savings accounts for older adults, the same. I like increasing choice in healthcare and not decreasing it. There are ways that Illinois has outlawed, for example, short-term, kind of catastrophic type insurance policies. But for some people, that's the thing that they need for the moment. So I want to increase choice in healthcare. I also believe that there must be accountability for sanctuary cities and sanctuary states. The Supreme Court made it clear when the conservative, let's say, red state sued Biden. The Supreme Court ruled basically that there's nothing you can do as a state about enforcing who comes into the country or not. It is soundly within the federal government's realm. So how can a state turn around and thwart federal government implementation of federal law? Even if you decide that your local or state law enforcement can't actively participate, how do you go about thwarting it? It seems to me that there's a conflict there that we have to address. I want to also address from an immigration perspective. I think that the Senate and the House right now needs to be holding investigations and conversation about what due process looks like for the 20 plus million people who were let into the country illegally, because right now those folks, their due dates to have a hearing is 7+ years out of the, down the road. Birthright citizenship from the Reconstruction era, fleshing that out. The founders or framers made it very clear that the children of foreigners and aliens, their language, not mine, are not citizens. They explicitly said in the debate, Jacobs, the one who sponsored the amendment, said that it does not include, obviously, he said, of course, it does not include foreigners and children of aliens. So that needs to be fleshed out. On another note, I think one of the things I want to do is slow down the pace of government. There's a lot of action that happens that's inefficient, ineffective. So the DOGE stuff means a lot to me, and it needs to be done in a way that makes sense, that doesn't unemploy Americans and or cause real significant upheavals to our economy. But I also think with this Americans First agenda, we're reframing everything here. We're rethinking NAFTA. The president that I voted for, Bill Clinton, right, put a lot of that stuff into place. So we're going to have some bumps, and I think we can do a better job communicating that to the people. So I want to make sure that as a senator, my door is open. I'm regularly communicating fireside chats, right? Need to come back with the folks of Illinois and the country about what's happening and the potential impacts of that so they can be prepared.
Absolutely. And, on top of that, too, what is your effort going to be? And want to dive back in, but on top of economic growth and on top of keeping, families safe and all that goes into it, how difficult or how much work will you put in to addressing maybe the lack of what the public sees as federal funding to downstate Illinois?
Yeah.
Or if it is funding, it goes to maybe certain counties, and that's kind of just it. Are you going to make it more apparent to try to push for more federal funded programs, more federally funded opportunities like bridges and construction projects or anything like that for more of the southern areas of Illinois and throughout the state?
Yeah, no, wonderful question. Illinois is such a richly resourced state when it comes to infrastructure. You can get to many places, right? Either mid-state where we are, and certainly through Chicago, right? And so I definitely want to make sure that there's equity in access to capital. And one of the things that I found when I reached out to mayors when I first started this campaign to find out what their pain points were, some of them don't know how to access the capital.
Yeah.
Right. So part of it's going to be me collaborating with House and then local Senate and House folks at the state level to make sure that they have a solid relationship with their districts, and their district leaders are really well aware in their communities, their municipalities are well aware of how to actually get the money in the first place.
Well, and I think it's really important to have an all hands on deck approach from all levels of government and your representation to all work together to have that better opportunity.
Totally agree. And that's how I believe leadership should be. So.
Absolutely. You got a moment to take a break with me?
Absolutely.
Let me pay a quick bill. It's 10:45 on this Wednesday morning. The third day of December continues right after this on Apple Podcasts, Roku TV, Riverbender.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Man, it doesn't show signs of stopping, and I brought me some.
The time is 10:47. Hopefully no more snow this weekend for our area. There could be a dusting up to a trace of snow this afternoon, so just be careful as you're driving home and stay up to date on RiverBender.com/weather. Back with Dr. Denise Long as she is running for Senate on the Republican side of things. The primary is coming
St. Patrick's
up.
Day.
It is St.
Yeah.
There you go.
So hopefully you can take your I voted sticker and get 75% off of good St. Patrick's Day vibes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, as we dive into this and really the nuts and bolts of it, you know, I'm sure for a lot of individuals that are, you know, listening to your campaign and love the ideas, they're excited. But what's it take to win? Because there's a two-prong approach to this. You have to get through the primary in March, and then also on the flip side, you're marching right up to November, and that's when the war machine, so to speak, comes out.
Yeah, absolutely. I am keenly aware that this is a deeply blue state.
Yeah.
I think most pollsters right now are calling it blue for the governor's race, the U.S. Senate race, which is what I am in, as well as potentially the House. What it takes to win is really making sure that the candidate who comes out of the Republican primary is one who can win the general. And in order to win the general, you are going to have to be able to appeal to a broader swath of constituents. You're going to have to be able to appeal to Democrats who are disaffected, independents, even some Republicans who I've met who are disenchanted, shall we say, about the things that have happened. And then there is a large percentage of voters who are not registered, as well as who don't vote because they don't feel their voice matters. So I'm looking to animate people. I'm looking to engage people across that broad base of constituent groups. And based upon the response that I've had, I am optimistic about my chances for St. Patrick's Day.
Now, going forward too, after St. Patrick's Day, is there a nervousness to Donald Trump not being on the midterm the ballot this time around? I know that's been a national conversation as pundits try to decide what the midterms look like. No one's going to know until the day after anyway. But does that bother you at all?
It doesn't necessarily, because Donald Trump is in his last, legal administration. We have to really think about what the party looks like. Who's going to step into those big shoes, right? And I also think that there are folks who are looking to move forward with the party, but keep the Americans first ethos that Donald Trump sort of called us to really think about.
Absolutely. And as folks gear up towards March and want to learn more, what's the best way to get connected with you? Are you open to speaking opportunities and those type of engagements?
Oh, I love a good conversation, and I love a good listening session. Folks can visit my campaign website, which is www.longforsenate2026.com. That's LONGFOR Senate. I'm also on all the socials. You can find me on Twitter X with my campaign, Long for Senate. I'm Long for Illinois on Twitter. And then you can also just Google me, Pamela Denise Long, and find me on Instagram, TikTok, and the like.
Absolutely. Before I let you go, we started off with touching on economic growth and the immigration. I want to finish on economic growth real quick. Take me through your sourcing plan and just, really break it down for the folks like me that go, that sounds great, but what's it really mean?
Yeah, well, first of all, we have to realize that we can legally focus on making sure that Americans are benefiting from the jobs. American-born citizens are benefiting from the jobs. Just saw some data that, once again, 2 out of 3 new jobs created went to folks who were not born in the United States. So legally, we can do it. I was invited to D.C. to brief congressional staffers about my concept of this. And what it looks like is making sure there is training, making sure there's upskilling, making sure we're revisiting education. My home state of Mississippi, where I was born, flipped their underperformance, and now they're top, right? They were at the bottom, now they're on the top. We need to get back to some basics, reading, writing, arithmetic, and shall we say respect as well. Yeah. And we also need to make sure that parents are reading to their children at home, literacy and numeracy.
Can I ask you one more question? Sure. And I wasn't going to ask you, I was going to wait to the next time, but this really is, important, I think, for this area and really in this part of the Metro East is housing. Right now, and it could be, for me, I'm going to speak to the younger generation. We see a lot of the Section 8 and the subsidized housing. Now we're creating new words for it so we all feel better about the term. But it's never going to be our home. It's always going to be in this process, the way it's set up now for so many families that you're always going to rent, and that's it. There's no American dream. It's no property. It's no house. Is there any way with infill programs that we could set aside or look into paths to inspire that next generation, that young American that just graduated college or they're looking for their first home, and not necessarily with $10,000 at closing, but maybe it's repairing, helping with the repairs of an older house to restore a neighborhood.
Absolutely.
Is there anything, in your mind when it comes to that and pursuing that for younger people or older people that just work their butts off and they can't afford a $10,000 HVAC bill?
Absolutely. This all goes back to Americans first. We need a tight labor market to make sure businesses are rewarding Americans with higher pay. We need to really revisit how we've saddled so many students, including folks my age, Gen Xers, with debt because we sold education as a way out, and now everyone wants a master's degree for a job that really shouldn't require it. In terms of housing, there's a link on my website called Dignified Living Conditions, which talks about that. I absolutely agree with you that one of my pushes is to make sure that we revitalize the existing infrastructure. There's no reason that I look around places like St. Louis or East St. Louis and there are these dilapidated buildings, beautiful infrastructure, just really going to waste. We have schools that are underpopulated. Why can't we convert those into different types of living situation, condos and the like? The 50-year mortgage, I'm not a fan of because I don't want people strapped into debt until they're 85 and have to work. But I think we definitely need to look at revitalization and increasing pay.
Really interesting. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, CJ. I've appreciated it.
Dr. Pamela Denise Long will be the name that appears on the primary ballot in March. You're more than welcome to come back throughout the journey, and really just best of luck to you.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break. We'll wrap up the Wednesday morning that was after this.
What's up? It's my Keith. What's up, bro? What's good, my guy? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Dwight Wirtz, president of Wirtz Welding and Tank Service, the nation's premier distributor of tank trailer parts. Dwight has been an outspoken and longtime supporter of the college and is the current chairperson of Lewis and Clark Board of Trustees. Oh, and he's a Lewis and Clark grad.
I'm Dwight Wirtz, and I am a trailblazer.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Tomorrow isn't built by dreamers. It's built by doers. Because progress doesn't work unless we do. So at Ameren, we've been hard at work putting energy to work for you. Adding underground cables, installing advanced switches and sensors, storm hardening poles and power lines, making the energy grid stronger today so it can meet your needs tomorrow. Learn about projects in your area at Ameren.com/energyfuture.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nicello on RiverBender.com.
.55, welcome back. Daily Show on a Wednesday as we're wrapping up the day that was. It is like 13 degrees down here. Wow. As we head into tomorrow and my toes are numb, we have a great show. We have Ameren joining us and so many more folks. And just a programming note, I will not be in the studio. Well, we'll have a best of show on Friday, but I won't be here live. I am going to be at Alton High School and at Marquette talking to some high school students about the great opportunities that await them for Riverbend CEO, and I'm really excited for that. Riverbend CEO really is just a great group, and really excited to be on their board and to help out in any way, shape, or form. At 10:56, we'll see if we have anything else to talk about. Today we actually do. This is breaking just a few minutes ago. We do have an update for you on this crash that occurred on Wednesday morning. 2 were injured in a near head-on collision Wednesday at the intersection of Illinois Route 143 and Enviro Way. Authorities are saying the Woods River Fire Department did respond to the crash at 8:41 a.m. on December 3rd, and upon arrival found one patient unresponsive. Woods River Fire Chief, Wade Stallhut, said that the individual was airlifted to a hospital in St. Louis in serious condition. A second patient was stable. They were transported by ambulance to a St. Louis area hospital. The crash did involve 2 vehicles. Woods River Police and Fire Departments were assisted by East Alton and Alton Police. Multiple road closures were implemented, including a complete shutdown of Route 143 from near the Lock and Dam to Route 3, Stallhut did say. Authorities have not released further details about the cause of the crash or the conditions beyond what was reported at the scene. We'll keep you updated on RiverBender.com. I'm out of time. Thank you so much for another great Wednesday. I will see you back here tomorrow for more of our daily show. Until then, try your best to stay out of jail.